Hi guys, it's Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. I am, and I hope you are. So tonight, a special Halloween edition. Spooky, scary. We're going to talk about something that I hear a lot about, and that is, what do I do if I sell my home before I find another one? That's one. Another one that I hear is, what if I buy a home and then my other home is sitting there and it doesn't sell? So there are a lot of fears around buying and selling homes. So I have a wonderful couple on tonight for you guys who are going to tell us what happened to them and how they persevered and were not fearful. Hopefully they weren't too fearful when they sold their home in record time and had to go buy another home. What did they do? Were they homeless or were they not homeless? Where did they go? So I want you guys to share this video with friends and family who might be in the same situation. This is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly, and we're going to be talking to Aaron and Lindsay Witherspoon tonight. And they're going to tell us their spooky story about selling their home like that and not having a new one to move in. All right, so let's bring them on. And remember, if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. And if Aaron and Lindsay can answer them, they will. If I can answer them, I will. All right, guys. This is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly, and let's bring on Aaron and Lindsay. Hey.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Look, it's cold. It's cold out. I got my felt hat on, my sweater, I'm bundled up. Are you guys nice and toasty and warm in your new home?
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. So this is our ever so frightening Halloween episode about selling your home before you buy a new one. So there are lots of people who have fears around buying and selling, right? So I want you guys to tell us, weren't you afraid? Like, why did you do that? Tell us what you did.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, Stacey, the market was right for the sell side, but as you know, the inventory is low on the buy side. So the timing was right. You know, we wanted to downsize, we wanted to move to a smaller house. So the timing was right to sell, but the process to buy a house just took much longer than we thought, right? So I would say the one piece of advice we have is planning, right? So we had multiple plans. One was, do we rent an apartment? You know, do we move in with family members? Do we put stuff in storage, right? So we kind of decided that, you know, we want to do the sell side because we want to take advantage of the sell side and the market being hot. And we would just put our contingency plans in place for the buy side, right? So you got to know that going in, right? You got to assume you're going to be homeless. And if you
wait, stop. Wait, stop. Let's recap. You have to have a plan.
Yes.
So you guys had a plan for all of the scenarios that might occur if you sold your house right away.
Yes, we did. Yep.
So why did you sell your house before you bought another house? Because there's some people out there who do that. So why didn't you choose that route?
So I would say we got the house ready for sale. So I think that was in the price market that we were selling at. Stacey needed a lot of prep time. Not that the house was in bad condition, but to bring it up to what I would call market value took some time. So we started that process, got that finished, and then, you know, we were like, oh, now we're ready to sell, but we did no pre-work on the buy side. So we were so sell-focused, kind of ran out of time on the buy side, and the house was ready to go on the market. And the house sold in one day.
One day?
So that was one, you know, that was a contingency we didn't plan for. We had everything planned out to buy a house. We thought we had time. We put it on the market. Then we buy, you know, we have time to look. Okay.
Wait, your house sold in one day.
Well, one day.
Multiple offers.
So let's go back.
Okay.
Let's go back. How did you prepare your house for sale?
I would say, Stacey, it was probably a 12-month plan, right? So, well, think about it. This was the house we grew up. I mean, we raised our kids in. We were there for 17 years.
17 years.
So we were there for quite a long time, from, you know, the babies, right? Kids growing up. So it was that house that had the kids' toys in it, the play bins and the toy chests and the bikes and all that stuff. So we knew we needed a lot of time to get that stuff out of the house. Okay. So we had a plan that we put in place for like 12 months to get the house cleared and decluttered, right? So downsizing furniture, downsizing clothes, downsizing toys. So, we took that plan, and I would say that was the longest timeline, right? Getting the house to that point. Then we had to get it painted and carpets and all that other stuff to get it ready for sale. But that whole process took about 12 months.
12 months. So this is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly, and we are talking to Aaron and Lindsay Witherspoon, and they are telling us what happened. What did they do to prepare themselves and their house to sell in one single day? And then what did they do after it sold? They were clearly homeless and needed a place to live, but they had a plan. So I want you guys to like and share this video so that if you know someone who's afraid to take this step, they know how to be prepared, because the Witherspoon said they had a plan. So you had a plan, right, guys? And that was 12 months in the making, preparing the house for sale. You had ready for 12 months. And I want to hear a little bit about what you did to prepare the house. I heard carpet cleaning. What else did you do?
So we
painting.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. We had the whole house painted. It was in need. Probably the biggest thing that we did was cleaning out the basement, which was our storage. We were downsizing. We knew we couldn't take it all with us, but we needed to go through it meticulously to figure out what we were going to keep, what we were going to give away, what we were going to donate, what we were going to sell. And so we took quite a while, especially with the basement, going through all the memorabilia, pictures, toys, all
that sounds so sweet. And so I think some people can't make that step, right? It's a difficult step to make, but you guys did it. So I call this whole process ROCKED, ROC''D.
Okay.
Remove, however you do that, remove, organize, clean, decorate, so that the house is show ready. It's ready for new buyers. So you guys literally went ahead and went down memory lane, took all of your memories, safeguarded them, decided who needed them, what you're going to do with them for the future, and cleaned out and donated. And that's exactly what ROCKED is all about. So if you are a seller out there and you're thinking about this, selling your home is probably not a spur of the moment thing for everybody. Some people have long-term memories in their home and they need to spend some time clearing it out. So the Witherspoon spent almost a year doing that. So the basement where you had your storage was the longest time. And what else? What else did you do?
I would say one of the key pieces of information that we had is we had the house somewhat assessed early. I would say probably 6 months out from sale, Lance. We had a real estate agent come in and say, what do you need to do to get top dollar for your house, right? So you make decisions, right? Everybody decides how much I want to put in, how much I want to get out. We were like, okay, we're going to plan this out. We got 12 months. We're going to get it, decluttered and get your program or our program and implement it. So we said, what do we need to do to get it to market value? So we actually had the funds available. So we redid the kitchen. We redid the windows. What else did we do? There was some brickwork that we did outside. So we basically had a realtor come in and say, hey, what do we need to do to the house? And she gave us a list of about 8 items. And we did, all the items that we thought would get us the most value. We actually did those in that time period as well. So when, at the end of that 12-month period, the house was ready, show ready, and it was up to what I would say market value. So we could get top dollar for the house as well.
So would you recommend that to people who have a house and they're thinking about selling, that they take some time to think about the process, or that they have an agent come in and give them an idea of what would get them the most money?
Yes, I would
That's
agree.
what I would recommend.
And I'll let Lindsay come in and Stacy. Yeah, because I think you think what you think you might spend money on might not bring you value back when you sell the house. So everybody thinks, oh, I want to do the X, Y, and Z, but that might not be a return on your investment, right? So it's key to pinpoint where to spend the money, because everybody's limited funds, right? So we said, okay, we have X amount that we want to spend to get the house ready for sale. Where's best to spend it? So that was the great thing, like yourself, Stacy, would come in and do an analysis and say, spend the money in the kitchen. Don't worry about the bathroom, update the carpet, you know what I mean? So we got that evaluation, and that's where we spend our money. And we got that back, when we actually sold the house. So I don't know if Lindsay wanted to.
And I would also say the realtor gave us advice about decluttering as well. So I might have thought my closet was fine, but the realtor may have told me, Stacy may have said, take 25% of the items out of the closet so that it looks larger, so it looks like it can accommodate more. So you can get that perspective from a realtor, something that I couldn't figure out on my own. So they'll tell you what to focus on to get your house ready for sale.
That's a good point. Was there something that you were surprised that you should have done that you did in order to get ready for sale?
So Stacy, I thought if you asked me what we should have done, I thought we would overhaul the kitchen, right?
Oh,
No, because everybody hears about kitchens and bathrooms, right? And what the advice we got was you don't have to overhaul the kitchen. Your cabinets are good. Replace some of the backsplash. We put in granite countertops, which weren't expensive. I know I get scared. You know me, I'm an accountant, right, Stacey? I get scared with spending money. But the granite countertops were not as expensive as I thought they would be, and they made the kitchen pop, right? We did some minor things to the kitchen, but it really made the kitchen pop. And I thought we would have to spend $50,000 in the kitchen when we spent much less, and it really showed the value, right? And we added some bar stools and accented the kitchen with just the color scheme as well. So it was small stuff, but it really made the kitchen show. So I think that was one of those surprises. I thought we were going to need so much more financial investment to get the kitchen to where we needed to be, but there was some quick things to get it ready. So
that's excellent. And one of the things I tell people all the time is use paint. Use paint as an accentuator. Use paint in your house to bring it up to a level of freshness. Younger people, so millennials, they're the top end of millennials are in their 40s now. So millennials are buying. They're the bulk of the buying age in our country. They want fresh looking homes, but it doesn't mean that it has to be all brand new. So everyone loves a beautiful kitchen and a beautiful bathroom, but they don't have to be brand new, because one of the things that people are really interested in is location, schools, style of the house. Is there room for everyone to spread out? Is there social room? Like, is there a finished basement? Is there an extra family room? That's what people really want. So a kitchen can be renovated later, believe it or not. And many homeowners will buy a home without a brand new kitchen because the house has everything else that they want. So that's good. So have a plan. So what else was on your plan besides cleaning up, decluttering, putting away, doing a few things that you didn't really know you needed to do to bring your house to market value? What else was in your plan? Let's talk about this plan, because we want to know what happened after your house sold in one day. So tell us that story. So the house goes up on the market.
Yep. So I would say our plan was to find a house, right? So I think if you put it in or you kind of rank them, we thought we were going to find a house. We did not realize the market on the buy side was that crazy and that intense. So when we got out there, we probably looked at 30 houses, and we could not find what we wanted because there was a lot of older houses that were somewhat remodeled, but not fully to the extent that we wanted. So I would say lessons learned for us, probably give yourself more time on the buy side if you're looking for something specific, right? So we were going from a much larger house to a 3-bedroom smaller house in that market and that price point, which is very hard to find. So you know that now, right? But going into that was our big kind of lessons learned, that we probably should have gave more time on the buy side. So but yeah, and then I guess the other part is having options in your plan, right? So we had already said, hey, if it doesn't sell, we don't find anything. We had contracted with our movers. So, because, we said we sold before we bought, we had contract with them. They were going to store our stuff right on a truck. So one of the deals that Lindsay cut with our movers are they pack the items on your truck, and then they took that trailer off of your truck and just put that in the storage. So they didn't have to pack it, unpack it, and repack it with, the costs involved with that, right? They packed it, stored the trailer. We gave them our move date 3 months from now, or 4 months from now, and then they brought that trailer back and unpacked it. So that was a nice thing as well. We didn't have to worry about that, where do we keep our stuff? Do we have to get another storage facility? Do we have to pay costs to unpack and pack? So that was a great thing that Nancy negotiated, kind of that offline storage. And they just put our stuff in a warehouse, and they brought the trailer to us when we were ready. So we had no concerns about being homeless, right? We didn't find a house, we didn't panic. We thought about moving in with family and friends.
Yeah.
you know, at our age, we're like, we don't know if we're built for that. And then plan B was to find, you know, we looked at apartments, but the upfront cost was just too expensive. So I'll say what we did to last, but let's see if we covered all of our planning steps, because I'll tell you where we ended.
Okay. Well, I think this was probably frightening. Was it?
A little bit for me.
Yeah, and not for me, Stacey.
Just the unknown. Like you said, we thought maybe we would stay with family members, and we thought maybe we would stay with different family members, like take a vacate 2 weeks with you, 2 weeks with you, you know. So we had lots of options out there where we were going to stay, and all of that uncertainty was a little bit unnerving for me. I like to have my plan laid out. He's a little bit more of a free spirit, so that unknown was a little bit frightening. But as long as you have options, you can always decide what option is best for you.
No mortgage payment, free.
Right, no mortgage payment.
Yeah, we eat out every night. Yeah, Stacey's living the dream. I was going to try to live in the city, you know.
You're like, yes. So I love the idea of the movers holding on to your stuff and not having to unload it again. So that's pretty good. So if you guys are thinking about selling and you're not so sure, there are variations of this. So there's U-Box, and there's a couple of other ones where you can box and hold and ship, and the items can stay in storage for a while you move into another property. So there are lots of options for this. And as Lindsay says, know what your options are. And I always say to my clients, step into your fear all the way. Find out what the real answers are, what the real truth is, and then the fear disappears. So if you have questions about things like this, find out what the truth is. And then once you know the truth, you'll be fine. You'll know exactly what to do, because that truth turns into options, right, Lindsay?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And talking to your realtor early in the process. A lot of people don't want to call a realtor until they're ready to move, and they think they've got to do all of that organizational and cleaning stuff before they call a realtor. You really need the advice of a realtor before you even start the process.
We dropped our realtor a year out, Stacey, right? A year
I
out.
mean, I love to be right on board as early as possible. I went and saw a client Saturday. She said to me on Friday, well, how about we make an appointment in a month? In a month? No. I'm coming tomorrow. She said, tomorrow? She said, I'm warning you. I said, it doesn't matter what your house looks like. Exactly. The reason I'm coming is to help you get your mind ready, to organize, to get rocked out so that you can remove the things you don't need. Because you're going to have to do that when you move, right? Because she's a seller. You're going to have to organize this stuff for you to move, or else how are you going to know where what goes? So she said, okay. And she really appreciated that wisdom so early on, and she hasn't even put her house up for sale yet. And that's something that I always like to do. I always like to communicate what you should be concentrating on to get your house ready for the market.
I want to mention is that you were not a realtor when we were selling. Yeah. I know we keep mentioning our realtor.
Yeah, it was not me, guys.
Definitely used you, and you've been a realtor at the time. So.
All right, guys. So I think we've been on for a while now. So tell me, what are your top 3 pieces of advice to anyone who is looking to sell a home and they're just unsure of the market, they're unsure of everything? So what are your 3 top pieces of advice from someone, from the 2 of you, who sold your house in one day and had to go find a home? What would your advices be?
I would definitely say talk to a realtor first. We let someone in our house before we did any organization, any cleaning, and that's a little scary. But realtors work in this space all of the time. They've seen it all, and they can give you the best advice on where you should focus your time. You know, we all have limited time. We got to do this on the weekend. We did this during the summer, but they can help you put a plan together on how to prepare yourself and your house for the move. So that would be my first piece of advice.
First piece of advice.
Yep. I would say second, don't be afraid, right? I mean, if the market's right, and like you said, our house had appreciated. So we were good on the sell side, Stacey. The financial decision was made. We were going to profit. So You know,
I love it.
I'm looking for my check, right? So the homeless place, I'll work that out later. I'm gonna get my check, get settlement, and then I'll worry about where I'm living later. So don't be afraid, right? I mean, you've done everything. You bought the house. You made a great financial decision 17 years ago. Take advantage of it. The market was hot. We were like, we're going to take advantage of it. We're going to sell, and we'll let the rest of it happen. And having that plan, right? Just having that plan is probably the third thing, and having options on it. And you mentioned a good point about I didn't even know you could store your belongings in a secured warehouse for months. You know, that was something I wasn't aware of until Nancy found that. When she found that, I'm like, oh, what do we have to worry about? Like all our stuff is secured. Like we could go living out of backpacks, right? There's no. You know.
I want to see that. I want to see that, Lindsay. I want to see you in a backpack, living out of a backpack. Not happening. Not happening.
Yeah, no, I got to. But yeah, that third is just like you said, the plan and the option, knowledge is power, and working all that through, and then just not being afraid to pivot. Like we pivoted many times on where we thought we were going, and we went left, we went right, we went left, we went right. So and we did it together. So yeah, somebody to kind of partner with it, and plus a real estate agent, which is key. So the three of us spent a lot of time together.
Right.
Okay.
And
so I hear that.
Plan time for you to organize and declutter, rock your house. We said that every night except for Tuesday when we have this and Thursday, we're going to spend at least an hour working on the house. So whether we just looked in a drawer or opened the box, you've got to spend some time. You've got to put some time aside to work on preparing your house. Make that part of your plan.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So how long did it take for you guys to find a new house?
That's
5 months, 6 months?
No.
From settlement.
Yeah, we weren't. It wasn't that.
How long was it?
It was 2.
2 months?
We were homeless for 2 months, if that's the question you were asking.
It seemed longer, Stacey. It seemed longer. Only 2 months?
And then there was the month that we were home, so 3 months.
3 months. Okay. 3 months.
So 3 months before you moved into your new home.
Right.
Okay.
Our house sold, and they wanted a 30-day close, which we accommodated. And then 60 days where we were homeless for 60 days after that.
Right.
So
yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, you're homeless no more. So don't be afraid, guys.
Yeah.
If you are like Lindsay and Aaron and are interested in selling your home, bring a real estate agent on as soon as possible. Have a plan, they said. Get organized. Spend dedicated time cleaning out your home and following the directions of your agent to get your house ready to go up for sale, and have multiple plans in your pocket. So in case your house does sell quickly, you know what to do next. And use the tips that the Witherspoons gave. If you need a secured place to have your belongings stored, use a moving company who's bonded and insured, who can securely store your items for the time being. So that's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. You guys were great. I really appreciate all of your wisdom.
Where we stayed for a couple of months.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Where did you stay during your homelessness?
Yeah. What was the name of it? It was an extended stay hotel, so where you rent for the month or, and so we stayed there. So we basically had an efficiency, an apartment for 2 months that we lived out of. So and it was great for us because we were downsizing. It got us prepared for living in a smaller home.
So it was a form of tiny house living.
It was. It was. We had a great time though. We didn't have all that cleaning and all that stuff. It was great.
I always tell my sellers, now is an opportunity before you find that next home to really experiment. So if you want to live someplace for a year that has, a saltwater heated pool all year round, maybe that's the opportunity to do it. Maybe it's an opportunity to travel. So it's a good transition point, especially if your belongings are safely stored. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. You heard it. You heard it. Don't be scared. If if you are in the situation where you're interested in selling your home and you have a lot of questions and you have trepidations, you're afraid, call me. You know my number, you know where I am, and let's talk. I love to be right on very early in the sale process to help my sellers with that journey. It's not always easy. As you heard the Witherspoons say, they were living in their home for 17 years, and it took some time. It took a year to get prepared to sell. So don't be alarmed if you think you're ready, but yet your home is not ready right away. It does take some time. All right, guys, you heard from the Witherspoons. Don't be afraid, and you know what to do next. Give me a call. This is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly. I hope you guys are okay and stay warm. Have a great one. Bye.